beautiful people. Hello. Hi, YouTube. Hey, Newtown. Whoever's listening live. Um, to remind you, this is Let's Talk New York, and my name is Vika. Simply Vika. You can find me on YouTube, not on Instagram because I'm on a break from Instagram, but I'll be back there soon. Anyway, welcome. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. If you're watching from YouTube, probably happy Thursday, I want to say, because it's going to be uploaded on Thursday. But yeah, today we have a really cool episode. I think that I'm excited about this episode for multiple reasons. First of all, because I have a lot of tips to give you today about living in New York City and about saving money, because today's topic is stop overpaying. NYC best money saving secrets. Yes, this is the episode today. So just want to clarify, this is not an episode about getting rich. This is not that. That would be a great episode, actually. But no, this is not a get rich episode. This is an episode if you're tight, if you just moved to New York, if you have a limited amount of funds. Some of these tips will help you to kind of get through this hard financial period without going into negative balance in your account. And I know that New York is a very expensive city to live in, but also because it's a very large city and there's a lot of things happening here. There are a lot of resources, free resources that people actually don't realize how much they can use of how many resources they can use for free. And they don't have to break your pocket. Is that the right term? I'm not sure. Anyway, I just want to say this is not a how to kind of channel. This is not an educational channel. This is a podcast, and this podcast is about living in New York. Whether you're coming from outside of America or from somewhere in the United States, and you're just moving into New York from a different city, this is the channel. This is not 1, 2, 3 how to. So it's not gonna be a quick 10-minute watch. It has a lot of character, a lot of me in it. I'm not an official teacher. That's not what we're doing here. I'm an artist. My podcast is about sharing my experiences to how I moved to New York and what I do now to if I need to save, and things that I just find out as I go from different people, from guests that I had here on the show, from freaking ChatGPT sometimes, and then I try it and I tell you about it. But there's so many resources, and I just want to share it with you because it took me 3 years to learn some of these things, and there's no reason to wait 3 years to use some of those resources. So I really want to share it with you. The second reason that I'm very, very excited is, well, I wouldn't say very, very excited, but I'm pretty sure this is my last episode here in Newtown. This is not the last episode of the podcast. No, we're still doing the podcast. But I think I'm going to stop coming here and doing it from here, although this amazing background that I love served me wonderfully the past year. But I think it just became a little bit unnecessary for me to do it from here. I think I have enough other places that I can do it from, and keep doing these episodes from the comfort of my home, of my building, of other podcast studios that are a little bit closer to home, because this is in Brooklyn. I live in the Bronx. I started my semester last week, my last semester. Oh my God, let it be over. Sorry. But yeah, so I started this last semester, and it's on Wednesdays. So from here, I'm going straight to school, which is in Queens. So it's gonna it's creating this weird triangle in the morning. I need to wake up at 5:30 to be here on time, which I didn't today. I apologize. And I was stuck in Union Square with the L train for a little while. So we have a little bit less time than I expected because I have to get to school. But yeah, I think I'm gonna start doing it from the comfort of my building because I have a nice area and a nice Zoom room that I can do it from. And I think most of you watching the episodes from YouTube or Instagram lives anyway, when I do have Instagram, So it's not necessary for me to do it live from Newtown. So that's probably going to be the last episode here. Although I love having like this whole station and the lights and everything, but I think we can manage with that, right? Like it's still me. It's going to be a nice chill background, maybe not as pink, but I'll make it happen. But anyway, there is like a lot of things on this list that I want to discuss. One last thing that I'm going to say, I'm going to talk about New York and resources here in New York, but if you're watching from a different country, from a different city, I think some of these things, maybe it's not going to be the same names, but maybe you can still watch the episode because it might inspire some ideas for you to where to look and how to find these resources in your own country, in your own town. I don't think small towns have these resources, and I think small towns, like, it's kind of easier for you to understand, like, how to navigate. So this will probably apply to like bigger cities and especially New York, because a lot of the things here are like specific names and specific information that I gathered. Also, I'm going to be nice enough to put all the links to all the resources that I'm mentioning down below in the description section. So if you hear something that you like, you don't have to stop the video and go, like I always do. Like I'll stop the video, I'll go to Google, and I was like, and then I'll find it and I'll stop it and I will keep it there until I finish the video. You don't have to do that. You can finish the video and you're gonna have all the names that I mentioned and the links to these things. But you can also write it down, or you can come back to this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I had like a whole year of podcasts and I never said that. So please like and subscribe because I'm doing it for free. Anyway, okay, let's start the episode about money saving hacks and tricks. You don't have to overpay living in New York City, especially when you're on a budget, which sometimes, most of us are when we just move fresh into the city. So the first thing will be the category of, it sounded like somebody banged the door. This is why I'm moving. Okay. Anyway, groceries and shopping. So there are a lot of different supermarkets in New York City. A lot. What the hell is happening? Okay, sorry. A lot of different supermarkets in New York City. And depending on the neighborhood you live in, the quality of the products changes and the prices change as well. So again, depending on the neighborhood you're choosing, you're going to pay different amounts for the same products sometimes, which is extremely annoying. Like when I lived in Long Island City, I would go to Food Bazaar and buy my things, or I would go to, like, there was another supermarket, I don't remember. Market's Place? No. I don't remember. But and even there, the prices changes. But then I moved to Upper East Side and all the prices skyrocketed like crazy. My closest supermarket was Morton Williams, which is, I believe, to be one of the most expensive, like regular, not like organic or like whatever supermarkets. Very expensive. And they don't have like membership cards and stuff like that. So it was very annoying to shop there, but it was so close to home. So it was so convenient, But I would recommend you. So first of all, the 3 best supermarkets to shop in is, like I mentioned, Food Bazaar. It's really great. It has like everything you need from like every culture. You can find there anything. The other one would be Aldi, which I heard is really like it's cheap and good. I think I shopped there once online. Like I order from there, but I don't quite like familiar with it. But I heard it's like really good. And my favorite one would be Trader Joe's. If you can allow yourself to travel to Trader Joe's, because they're not like, not in every neighborhood, not everywhere. But if you can go to Trader Joe's, they don't have like memberships or stuff like that, but their whole thing is a membership because you get amazing prices. I do think you get better food. They have their own products, which allows them to market it at lower retail price. But they also have other foods that it's just good, like something, like sometimes I would shop online for like my basics that I need, but I'll still go to Trader Joe's because they have the specific things that I want and nobody else has them. And the prices are amazing, you guys. Like you can, like the things that you will spend a lot of money in Trader Joe's just because you think everything is cheap. So you buy so many things. So you get like a lot of products for like $100. When you go to like Morton Williams, $100 is like a little bag. So that's the compare. Honestly, depending on what you're buying, obviously, if you're buying like salmon and expensive cheeses, yeah, you're gonna get a bag in Trader Joe's as well. But what I'm saying is that like Trader Joe's has a lot of options for you. So I would definitely recommend going to Trader Joe's if you can afford traveling there, because it's not everywhere, you know. Um, what else? Yes, check your coupons and cashback. So a lot of grocery stores have memberships, like I said, and a lot of those memberships will like get you coupons and points and things like that. Food Bazaar has one. Like you can, the more you buy there, the more points you get, and then with those points, that gives you the discount for what you buy. I think. What's the name of this? I forgot. Anyway, Morton Williams doesn't have it. Trader Joe's doesn't have it. But I believe a lot of supermarkets do have it. At the same time, you can check other coupons and other programs for like cashback and apps for cashback. I personally haven't used them, but I heard from people that did use them. So one of them would be Rakuten, which like gives you cashback on specific deals and specific stores if you like enter the code, I think. And you have Honey, which I'm not familiar with, and you have Fetch Rewards, which I am familiar with, but I never used. Again, I'm not like, I don't necessarily use those things because I didn't feel like I need them. And again, mostly I shop at Trader Joe's, which does not offer these things. But you do have this option if you want to save a little bit. It's probably smart to use it. I mean, why not? Why not get cash back if you're already shopping at something, right? Like that just seems reasonable to me. Another thing would be, okay, so supermarkets we kind of covered. I kind of told you all about it. The next thing will be thrift shops and discount stores like Marshall, TJ Maxx, regular thrift store, sample sales, and I think what's that, Nordstrom Rack, I think that's the one, and like Burlington's, and places like that, even Target, honestly, for specific things. But these stores will save you a lot of money. Again, if you go to Marshall's, you can buy anything there. Some things you can buy in the dollar store. I'm not a fan of the quality in the dollar stores, but it really depends on what you're looking for. Because if you buy napkins, go to the dollar store. You don't have to buy napkins at Target. You don't have to order from like an expensive place or even Amazon. Like you don't have to. You can go to like cheaper places if it's a standard product that you don't need to. Like you can buy a broom in a dollar store. You don't have to buy a broom in Bed Bath and Beyond because that's gonna be like unreasonable for you, right? So certain things, for example, if you like fancy clothes and you like have your specific style and all that, and you don't want to shop for clothes in Target, which I don't blame you for, that's fine. You can go to thrift stores, because in thrift stores you can get like Nikes or Michael Kors, even like things, especially in New York, and depending on the thrift store. But you can get things even like, I think I talk about it all the time, but you can get like new stuff for like 80% off because it's a thrift store. So this would be like a great way to shop for your style and not compromise on the quality and buy some like cheap dollar store t-shirts, because I do not recommend that. Like honestly, if you're saving on clothes, you're gonna like, do you know like the feeling when you buy like a cheap shirt material and like, for example, polyester, right? Like you buy a t-shirt for like $5 and you're like, oh, this looks great, and you don't check it's polyester, and then you go outside on a summer day and you're sweating and smelling like a crazy person after 5 minutes. Yeah, that I think like that used to happen to me before I learned what polyester is and how to shop properly for my clothing. I would be like, oh, that's a cool shirt, I want to buy it, didn't check. And then this shirt, like, it's unwearable because no matter how much deodorant I'm gonna put, no matter like, I'm gonna sit in the office or like at home with my deodorant and perfumes and I'm gonna sweat into the shirt. Some materials do that. And if you buy a shirt in a dollar store and you don't check the quality and the material, that can happen. And that's going to be a waste of your money. That's just a waste. You better buy a $20, $30, $50 shirt that will last longer than this type of shirt that just like you don't want to do that. Marshalls and TG Maxx will be good for shopping completely new things. If you like not into thrifting, that's completely fine. I also like, I completely understand. You can go to Marshall, TG Maxx, and like Nordstrom Rack and like all these things that I just said. These have new things, and you can also find like, it's basically an outlet store. So you can find, it's not gonna be like, oh, just arrived, like no, that would be like a regular store. But definitely you can find brands in there, and good quality and bad quality. You have both. Just look for a good one, and the prices are like very, very affordable. Check outlet malls. There's one in Jersey not far away. A whole mall is an outlet, so the prices drop like crazy. So check that out too. Sample sales, it's something I'm not gonna waste my time on it because I never tried it actually, but it's basically like when stores open up and they give something like for just type sample sales. I'm not gonna waste my time on it because I don't know much about it, but I do know it's a thing in New York. I can't recommend it enough. I always recommend the other thing is go to Facebook, and instead of scrolling the news and getting negative, go find a group that's called Buy Nothing in your neighborhood. You just type, for example, Buy Nothing Upper East, and then like they have neighborhoods, Buy Nothing Long Island, things like that. You apply to this group by writing like what street you live in. So they making sure that you actually live in the neighborhood. And people just like give away things, and it can like be from like an envelope, free envelopes, or like a free couch. It ranges like crazy. Let me just check that this is running because the computer went off. Oh, there you go. That's fine. Anyway, so it can be anything. So just check, like use this group. I use this group. I got a free TV out of this group. I actually gave away stuff that I no longer needed when I was moving out, and people just like, I had like a lot of heavy things that I didn't have time to actually like take somewhere or get rid of. So I posted it on the group, and people came and took it out of my hands, off my hands. Not out of my hands. Yeah. And it was very convenient, and they were really happy. So it's something like, it's a cool exchange that you can get a free TV, a free couch, and give away like a free whatever table that you're not longer using. And you're like, oh, what am I going to do with it? And so instead of like, breaking it apart, taking it downstairs, blah, 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 you don't have to do that. Just give it away for free. People will take it out of your hands for free. Off your hands. What is happening? Anyway, and something else that I want to mention is obviously, I think you're familiar. I think everyone's familiar. I think we all know what Groupon is. And Groupon is an amazing thing to find discounted services. You can go, if you need to do your nails and you don't have $100 to spend, there are a few ways you can do that. But Groupon would be a nice way to try out. My personal opinion about Groupon is that sometimes you find good things and sometimes you find shitty things, obviously. I went to a facial from Groupon, and I was not happy at all. So I think I would rather spend like more money and get a good result rather than to spend some money and get out of there and be like, what did I just, what was that? But some services, depending on the reviews, check the reviews, talk to the person, call the place. But there are a lot of things on Groupon that you can actually, even if you don't want to do your facial from Groupon, and you just feel like going bowling or sightseeing and you're like, oh, this is very expensive, go to Groupon. They have discounted things all the time. They have everything there. So you can definitely you can even shop there. I never shopped on Groupon, but you can find discounted stuff on Groupon, services, attractions, classes. Check it out. It's a really nice tool to use. And I think there is something. Oh, and barter services. So if you really want to do your facial, your nails, and you can't afford it, you don't know what to do, you don't want to go to a cheap place, you can always see if you can barter services. If you can offer something in return for a facial, if you can do something, if you do nails but you need facial, switch. Do these kind of things. At the same time, something that I noticed, and use Facebook for it. Facebook is amazing for that. But you can go to different groups on Facebook, and people, for example, A hair salon just opened up and they're looking for good reviews and they're looking for new clients. So they will offer you a freaking free haircut as long as they can post your face and your haircut on their Facebook, on their website, or whatever it is. Maybe not free, maybe discounted, depending on what you do, but they're like looking for models basically. So you can do your facial, you can do your nails, you can do your hair, you can do a lot of things. Depending on how trusty you are, like not everyone will be like, do whatever you want with my hair, although you don't have reviews and you just started yesterday. Not everyone will be okay with that. But if you are okay with that, just do it. That's something, and New York has a lot of those. So I would definitely recommend like exploring that on Facebook groups and like maybe asking around and seeing like, my advice would be, if you're looking for something, say it out loud, because people will help you find it. Like if you're not saying it out loud, how people will know? But if you need, you're like, I'm looking for a facial, and people will be like, I do facial, I need a photo shoot. Oh, cool, I can do a photo shoot for you. Let's switch, and then you don't need to pay $300 for a facial. So things like that. Cool, right? Oh my God, living in a big city. We covered groceries and shopping so far. Let's see what time. It's 9. Oh my God, I have half an hour. I spoke for 20 minutes just about groceries and shopping. I'm sorry. Let me sip my coffee and we'll continue. Big break. Big break. Small break. Small break. Housing and utilities is next on the list, you guys. This is very important because I think housing and utilities are, I don't want to say like wrong percentage, but like definitely more than 50% of your spending monthly. Because, oh my God, rent in New York. Let's talk about it for a second. Rent in New York. Let's take a regular ass apartment, right? What would be the price? Like, let's say you're moving in with like roommates. It won't be less than $1,500, even for a room, right? Unless you like want to live in a basement with rats, and then maybe, or like with 5 roommates, and then you can get like $800, $900 deal, like really depending, right? But like approximately it's gonna be $1,500, $2K, $25K if you're in Manhattan, depending, like really depends on the neighborhood. So that's a lot of money. But let's consider you just moved here, you're looking for an apartment, you're looking to move with your friend, with a roommate, whatever, you agree on $2,000 a month for rent, you're looking for an apartment, you go to Street Easy, right? The first thing you need to do is to check the mark that says no broker fee. This is so crucial because with a broker fee, you're gonna pay $2,000 for the first month rent, $2,000 broker fee, and $2,000 deposit. So that's like $6,000 1 month. That's crazy. That's insane. You already have to pay the deposit and the first month rent, which you already need to like $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 depending on your rent. You don't want to pay broker's fee. That's not money you're gonna ever see coming back to you, especially if you're coming from a different country. You don't have your credit score yet. You don't have a guarantor here in America. You need to use a guarantor company. That's another $2,000, $3,000 that you're never going to see again. So you need to think about that. And if you like really take that and you're renting an apartment for like, $3,000 apartment, $3,000 first month rent, $3,000, security deposit, $3,000, broker's fee, probably $3,000. Guarantor, probably $3,000. Are you kidding? This is impossible. You can't do that, right? Like that's, kudos if you can, but I don't think we all have like $12,000, right? So I would recommend, like, again, if you're like, sometimes when you go into like when you rent a room with roommates or like you're subletting, obviously this is easier because like when you getting into apartment that already has roommates and you go do it through them, you're probably going to pay first month rent, security deposit. Like you don't need to pay broker's fee or like guarantors or things like that. But if you find that deal, that's awesome. But if you're like going through like the bureaucracies of the city, definitely look for no broker's fee, because it's just money to waste. Like you don't do that to yourself. Those are maybe the nicer apartments that go through brokers, but like not in your first year. Like it's not worth it. I did it one time and Well, it was worth it because the rent was good, so like it was fine, but I won't do it again. Like there is no need. Honestly, you can find on street easy. You can find everything yourself. So try to rent, no broker's fee or directly from the owners, which is also a possibility. A little harder, but possible, especially if you like have your community. Where are we? Be careful with Facebook Marketplace when renting a place. There are so many scams. I always say that. I can't say it enough. There are so many scams on Facebook. And what's the other site? Fuck, I forgot. I forgot, like the scary site. Anyway, I'll remember later. Don't want to waste my time. I only have half an hour. But yeah, a lot of scams. I almost fell for one when I was moving in here, but I was lucky that we noticed that it was a scam. But like, don't rent an apartment from like a random person. That if you feel something is off, if it's too good to be true, if you can't speak to an actual human, don't do that. No matter how charming the apartment looks like or how amazing the price looks like, if it looks like too good to be true, it's too good to be true. It's a scam. Don't do that. Always go to the place and see yourself, the place that exists, speak to a person, and never send money through PayPal. That's a scam. If somebody tells you that the deposit or like the holding fee or whatever it is through PayPal to the agent, oh, you guys, come on. Anyway, where are we? Okay, let's talk about utilities for a second, because there are two different versions of apartments you can rent. If it's an older building, you probably not gonna have an AC. You're probably gonna have a radiator. Some of you may like it, some of you may not like it. It's very loud. Sometimes it's like it's old. Old apartments have that, and your radiator will go the entire night. That can happen. But you don't pay for it. It's free. Those buildings don't charge you for heat, which is amazing for the cold winters in New York. You're probably going to need to get an AC for the summer because they don't cover that, but at least you pay half the season. You don't pay for AC all the time, right? Usually also these apartments, because they already use heat, they're going to have a gas stove and not electric stove, which reduces your electric bill by far. If you choose a newer apartment, a newer building, like a more fancy building, you're gonna need to pay more in electricity because they don't have radiators, they have ACs. And ACs obviously you pay for everything. So you're probably not gonna pay for water or hot water, but you are gonna pay for the electricity, the AC. And they usually have electric stoves, which is also like a lot of money. And those apartments usually come with, washer dryer unit, which is very convenient. But think about the electric bill and dishwasher, which again, all these I have in my apartment. But I know how to save and I know when to use and when not to use things. I don't use much of AC. I'm fine with regular temperature. Dishwasher is fine, doesn't take too much. I don't use the dryer very often because it shrinks clothes and it kind of ruins the clothes and it's a lot of electricity. So I'm mostly using the washing machine. So I kind of know how to go around it. But consider that, you don't have to pay for AC if you get an apartment with a radiator and then your winter is you're covered during the winter. So you kind of utilize that on the utilities part. At the same time, where was I? Yeah, when you're paying your Wi-Fi, you're choosing your Wi-Fi and phone bills, there are different companies and the price ranges are very different. For example, Verizon are very, very expensive. If you choose with them the phone bill and the Wi-Fi bill, you're gonna pay more than $100 on those two. If you go to Spectrum, they have an amazing Wi-Fi and phone deal, which for the phone, you're going to pay $30. For the Wi-Fi, you're going to pay $50. So it's like $80 and you're done. Verizon, add 50 to it, right? And they're not necessarily better. I would say I used both. And the only reason I switched from Spectrum to Verizon is because my building is very new and it doesn't have Spectrum services yet in the building. So I switched to Verizon. But I wouldn't recommend if you're on a budget. I think Spectrum, and I think there is another one from T-Mobile. It's called wireless. I forgot. but I think they're also good. So check T-Mobile. You don't have to go to Verizon. They're really expensive, honestly, for no reason. But it also kind of like, well, I'll talk about it a bit later when I talk about discounts and like your options. But I would go with Spectrum. Like honestly, they're a great provider, and they have great deals. Like they have two lines for a price of one. If you're coming like here with a spouse, with a partner, and you or a friend, even you can get two lines for one price, which is very convenient and very nice. Um, okay, where are we? Okay, banks. So a lot of people asking like about opening a bank account and where to open the bank account, which bank is best. I don't know which bank is best because every bank has its own like how they roll. There are obviously like more famous like more like for example, if you're coming out of states, I would recommend going with Bank of America. They have a very easy process to like opening a bank account without social security number, without like, they will open you a bank that like a bank account. So they're like a pretty more chill when it comes to that. Some banks will not let you open a bank account without a social security number. Fees. So banks have fees, but check your options. Some banks have like reduced fees for like if you're a student or if you maintain a certain amount of money in your account and then you don't have to pay the monthly fees. So check your options. Ask like when you're searching for which bank to choose, search online, ask people like, oh, here I am, I'm a student, I'm 26, I'm blah, blah, blah. Which bank should I go with? I don't have security number. I don't have that. I'm whatever. Like, you can research that and find the bank that fits your needs because not every bank has the same offers, right? If you are looking for free advice about your financial situation, I would recommend getting, and I will talk about it like much more because there's so many resources there, but the New York Public Library has free financial resources, people that you can talk to that can navigate your help you navigate your financial situation, give you financial advice, give you business advice, give you savings advice or whatever you need. But definitely get a card. If you're in New York, get a library card because you have no idea how many things they offer beyond books, right? So I would go there and I would ask about their financial advice. Obviously, you can go through the city, through like different, I think NYC just generally offers a lot of free resources through the city website. But the library is a little bit more accessible. If you're a student, go to your college. They have all that for free as well for you. As a student, you kind of like eligible for all this help, even like legal advice. You can talk to a lawyer for free. I tried it. It works for free. Nobody charges you if you're a student because you're going through your school. But definitely check the library because they do have advice, so they can help you with that. We'll go back to the library because it has so many things. And another thing about housing and utilities, for example, if you need help moving, assembling stuff, carrying stuff, things like that. Obviously, you can hire a moving company, but a moving company will be way more pricey than TaskRabbit. You can go to TaskRabbit, also link down below, and you can hire professionals that are basically freelancing these things. A guy with a truck and a friend, and they can help you move for $200 when if you need to move with a company like Piece of Cake or like Empire Moving, I think I used, they will charge you not less than 600. So again, depending on like the size of if you're just moving a bed, obviously they're not going to charge you 600, but if you're just moving a bed, hire somebody from TaskRabbit and like don't stress about it. They do have insurance, they do have these things. Depending on who you're talking to, for sure you're gonna get a cheaper price with TaskRabbit, so you can save on that. And if you need any professional work done and you don't know where to go, you don't know who to hire, people are offering you higher prices, you can always check Upwork and Fiverr. They offer way, way, way more affordable prices on things that you can't do yourself or don't want to do yourself. Like I used Fiverr for like content creation things that I needed, or What did I use Fiverr from? Like just writing specific stuff for me, like polishing things for me, press releases and things like that. Like I'm not gonna, I just outsource those things to Fiverr, and it's like 10, 15, 20. It can be like $500. Yeah, you can find that. But you can find definitely way cheaper stuff than, looking through the city. Or check the library. Check the library. Where are we? What time is it? 9:15. Oh my God. I talk so much. But we're getting there. We're getting there. What do I have still? I think I can. Oh, okay. So I still have to cover transportation and everyday expenses and entertainment and lifestyle. Look how organized I am. I printed stuff for you today because I was on the subway and I was like, I have stuff to talk about finally, and I had an idea for an episode and I was like, yeah, let me write it all down. And I wrote it all down, I prepared it, and obviously ChatGPT helped me like put it in order and kind of organize it. Use ChatGPT, you guys. Yeah, GChat is amazing. And a free advice, by the way, like, oh my God, you can save so much with ChatGPT, like so much time, so much money, so much. Like ChatGPT can teach you anything. ChatGPT taught me how to open an investment account. So, and like it led me through the steps of how to do that, Probably not the best for like, people that actually make money doing that, because ChatGPT does take a lot of that, of the work that freelancers and like professionals do. But again, if you can afford it, go to a real person, to a real human with experience, right? But if you can't, and we all sometimes hit like this time in our lives when we're just very tight, we either got fired or just moved here, or unexpected expenses, and times are hard. You don't have to live under a rock. You can still manage to have a normal good life on a budget in New York City. Yeah, I said that. Okay, transportation and everyday expenses. Guys, if you live in New York, use the fucking subway and the buses. There is no need to spend so much on Ubers. Yes, it's going to take more time and it's going to be a little smelly at times, but you're going to pay $2.90 or $3, right? Or Omni, which is like Omni, it's like a cap for a week. So you won't spend more than 30 something, $32, $33 a week if you're using the same card. Which is a great thing because, like Uber costs you $30, just one. So it's a good way to save, right? It's like you're going to spend $100 and something on subways and buses a month, when with Uber or having a car, I don't even know how much money it's going to, like, that's crazy expensive. And there's no need. There's so much traffic in the city. Just use the fucking subway and it goes everywhere. And if you live in the suburbs, that's a different story. Maybe you're gonna need to have a car, but like if you live in the city or Brooklyn or like, the city part of Brooklyn and like Long Island City, Astoria, all that, you don't really need a car. Like use the subway. Again, library card. Use the library card because you don't have to buy new books. Although, as an author, I would encourage you to like, help. But if you can't afford it, there are free books, free movies, free everything at the library. You can use that for free. You have books, audiobooks, streaming services, and free museum passes. I didn't know that. Okay, that was something ChatGPT added because I had no idea. I was like, I wrote books, audiobooks. That's awesome. Oh my God. Thank you, GChat. But apparently, okay, I'm gonna check this out. Apparently you can get, okay, because my free museum passes, I'm not like a big museum fan, but if you live in New York, you can get a New York, what is it called? I think it has it here. ID NYC. If you have an ID NYC card, you can go to the Bronx Zoo for free. You can go from museums for free. You get a lot of discounts. So this is also something that I would suggest you to do. It's a little bit of a headache to do this card because you need to it's like issuing a driver's license. So you need to go physically and apply, blah, blah. But ID NYC gives you a lot of discounts. So use that if you can. That's like an amazing resource to have. Resource? No, it's not amazing. It's an amazing thing to have. It gives you a lot of free and discounted things in New York City, which is awesome. So yeah, where was I? Yes. Yes, so you can go to museums for free if you're a fan, but definitely get a library card. It gives you a lot of things for free, like, a lot of, they have classes. New York Public Library have classes, like they can teach you Photoshop for free. They have a recording studio as well, that you can use if you're like recording a podcast and you need something. The only problem, like I don't use the studio because I got a pass for the studio, but apparently I can't have it to myself. Like I need to have a babysitter sitting there and watching me the whole time. So I'm not doing that. But if you need help, there's an engineer there. So you can definitely get a free recording studio in the New York Public Library in the Bryant Park location for free if you want to use it. But yeah, they have classes, they have language classes, they have business classes, they have a lot of things. Use those resources. And if you want to meet people, that's also a nice way to like get to know some people. Okay. The other thing about everyday expenses is make your own damn coffee. Honestly, like for somebody who this is from home, you guys, because it just doesn't make sense to me to like with the amount of coffee I drink, I would spend like more than like around like $15-$20 a day for coffee if I buy it outside all the time. I don't even want to start calculating how much it is a week, a month, and a year. That's a lot. Now, don't get me wrong. I do buy coffee outside. I do enjoy going to the coffee shop. I do like sometimes I do need to buy coffee outside. That's fine. But if you have the possibility to like make your coffee in the morning at home, order some cups on Amazon, make your coffee, go to work. You don't have to stop at the local shop to buy a $5, $6, $7 latte, depending on where you live, right? I make my own coffee. And these cups cost like $10, like a huge pack, and $10 for a pack of coffee. So it's $20 for a week or 2 weeks when, sometimes you can spend $20 in 2 days on coffees or 1 day, depending on the amount of coffee you drink. So think about these things, make your freaking home food, it's healthier, it's better, it's cheaper. So cook at home. Like, I'm a big believer in cooking at home. I always say that. It's worth it because groceries, go to Trader Joe's, buy your groceries for $100 and it will last you a week or even more, depending on how much you eat and what you buy. But a meal outside will be at least $20. And then after 5 meals, you're out of the budget and it's not even a week, right? So think about cooking at home. Doing meal prep is really going to improve your life and your health and your pocket, right? So do that. Use like really. And learn how to cook. You can learn how to cook. Like if you don't know how to cook, grow up. It's time. Okay. Limit your streaming subscriptions. Honestly, I know people that pay for like 5-6 different subscriptions. They have Disney, Hulu, Amazon Prime, Peacock, Hulu, did I say Netflix, Spotify, Audible, and all these subscriptions, right? You don't have to have all these subscriptions. If you have Amazon Prime, which if you live in New York, you probably have Amazon Prime, which saves you a lot of money in the long run. It is like $100. If you're a student, it's $70. But if you're like not a student and you don't have any discounts, it's like $100 and something a year. But you don't pay shipping ever. So that saves a lot of money and you get a lot of discounts within Amazon, a lot of coupons within Amazon so you can order things for cheap. You don't waste time and go shopping. Great tool to have. But Amazon Prime comes with audiobooks, music, podcasts, movies, series, Kindle, I think, right? I mean, depending on your subscription, I'm not sure, but because if you like, you don't have to pay Kindle because the library app. I'm sorry, I'm going back and forth because I have so many tips, but I recently found that I can't believe I didn't know about that. But if you have a library card, you don't need to pay Audible and you don't need to get Kindle or whatever it is because you have an app that you can download to your iPad or phone and borrow books, audiobooks, and Kindle format books and for free from the library. This is crazy. Also, if you have Apple, the app Books has a lot of free books you don't have to pay, and they have like a lot of $1 or $2 books that you can listen that you can read, so you don't have to pay the Audible subscription. I like Audible. I used to have Audible, but it gets pricey, right? So you don't have to do that with the library card, and with the, I think Amazon Prime also have an option of like some audiobooks that you can, I'm not sure, I need to check that, but I'm sure they have something. But yeah, so check, like you don't need to have 5 different streaming accounts. You can have, if you have Disney and Hulu, that's a bundle right there. I think with Spotify, if you're a student, you get a discount, and you can get Hulu for a few months for free. Choose the platform you want, or like use a family plan, like do these things. Like you don't have to pay $100 a month to watch TV, especially for watching TV. You don't have to do that. You can get YouTube Premium, and you also have music, podcasts, audiobooks, movies. Decide which platform you use the most and save, like go over your finances and be like, oh, I'm paying $150 a month for streaming and I watch Netflix once a month. Cancel it. It's not necessary. Trust me. It's like, it's fine. You don't have to have it all. Especially like, go read a book. It's free rather than watching Netflix. And I know sometimes you want to, like, you get home, you're tired, you want to watch something. It's okay to have like something, but you don't need everything, right? Cool. Cover that. I hope you listen to me. And another thing that I want to say about everyday expenses, choose the right credit card. This is something that I'm kind of like learning recently, because I really don't understand the American system of credit cards and cashback and points and all that. Like, it's really hard for me, and I need to educate myself more about it. But I do know that different cards give you different things. So you have cards that give you more points for travel if you travel a lot for work, right? But there are credit cards that give you more cashback on groceries or restaurants if you're eating out a lot, or utilities and rent, so check the credit cards that work best for you and give you the most cash back for the things that you use the most. I'm still educating myself about that, and I'm still like navigating the credit card system. It's pretty tricky. So definitely before getting a credit card, especially if you're out of states, before getting a credit card, I don't know if it's possible if you don't have like any history, but maybe it is through your bank. After a while, you can get a credit card, start building your credit history. But definitely check which card is best for you, and check what it comes with, because having a credit card is a big responsibility here in America, because in other countries you don't have credit scores. You have a credit card, you pay it or you don't pay it, and you get a debt, but you don't get like a credit score according to how much you buy and pay. Here in America, it's the system. That's how it works. If you have a credit card and you don't know how to use it properly, and you get a poor credit score, then it's going to hurt you from, like, you can't get a proper rent, because your credit score is very low. You can't rent a car, like have a lease on a car because you have a poor credit score. Like it hurts. It hurts. So like, learn how to use a credit card before you get one. It's really, really important here in America, you guys, especially if you're not American. It's a system you need to understand how to work with, and set it to auto payments, because if you miss a payment, your credit score goes down, and you don't want to do that. And spend, I think, to get a good credit score, you need to spend like around 10 to 30% of your limit of the credit card. So if you have a credit card that's like $1,000 limit, right? Spend like 100, and the credit score will go up really fast. This is a really important tip that I learned. I built my credit score really quickly because I used that. Like, I would have I had a credit card, and I only would use it for like coffees and things like that, and using like the minimal amount of the credit card, and it really raises your credit score. So like, do that and pay it on time, the entire amount. The entire $3 coffee. Okay, we need to go soon. So I have the last thing, which is entertainment and lifestyle, which is the last point. And I have a lot of things here, but I'm going to go over them really quickly because I have to run to school. And my teacher is a pain in the ass. And he's like, if you can't be here on time, don't... Anyway. Okay, entertainment, lifestyle. Okay, so the first thing that I want to say is, like I mentioned before, if you're a student, student discounts. There's so many. Obviously, if you don't like, I found you a resource that you can like go through, but if you don't know, ask ChatGPT. If you don't know where to look for this information, ask ChatGPT. Hey, I'm a student in New York City in CUNY, whatever, and what discounts am I eligible for? And ChatGPT is gonna be like, oh, you know that you can get a student transportation card and don't pay for MTA. Oh, did you know that you get Spotify for half off? Oh, did you know that you get Amazon Prime for half off because you're a student? Oh, you know that you have this and this resource. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of restaurants that will give you discounts because you're a student. A lot of like ice cream shops and coffee shops that give discounts to students. So use that. Use that to your advantage. There's also low income discounts. So if you are an American and you're not a student and you have you come from a low income, situation, New York City offers a lot of things for low income residents, which also transportation that is very discounted, health insurance for free or discounted. There's a lot of shopping, there's a lot of like product help or I don't remember what's the name of it, but basically you can go to a place and get food for free if you need. So if you're in this situation, use those resources and research about those things, because New York City actually offers a lot of things that you can, that you can use if you need. Again, don't go like to get a free food if you can afford it, but leave it to people that actually need the help. But if you are currently, and I'm saying currently because on this channel, no, you're not staying poor. We're growing together. We're building together. We're building a better life together. But if you hit that point, that short point in your life that you're broke or you need help or you need assistance, it's not a shame. It happens. Use those resources to get help. Which also brings me to, if you want to learn something, if you want to do activities, if you want to do classes, New York City also offers a lot of free stuff. Besides New York Public Library that offers you free classes, free education, just free education in America. Yes, they offer that. New York City also offers a lot of free stuff, a lot of like yoga classes for free. I think I talked about it in a different episode. I'll try to find which one that was and I'll link it down below. Maybe, can't promise. But they offer a lot of like, in the parks, you can find like Zumba classes and yoga classes and like running club, which it's all free, right? Like the free dancing classes that you can find on Eventbrite or like Meetup or things like that. Use those free things. You can do a lot of free activities, right? New York City offers free tax advice. So whether you want to use the library resource or you don't want to, for some reason, go to the library, New York City does offer free tax advice. Check that. I'm not going to go too much into it because I never tried it before, but I do know that there is a source for that. Like you can definitely find that. I think okay, we talked about college students because you can get free museum passes. You can have check with your school about health insurance for students or for international students, whatever you are. Some schools offer, like many colleges actually offer like school help, with like, tutoring and like learning centers, writing centers, free therapy even within school. So if you need help, like check those resources. Colleges, I can't stress it enough. Colleges have so many resources that nobody uses, you guys. They have lawyers, therapists, teachers, professors. Teachers and professors pretty much the same, but they have a lot of resources that you can use to your advantage. For example, also in the library, you can rent equipment. If you want to start your YouTube channel or your podcast or whatever it is, you can actually borrow a camera, a microphone, lights from the New York Public Library. So check those things. There's so many things for free. Jesus, I need to go. I'm going to be late. My teacher's going to be like, oh. Okay, few last things. Broadway. Broadway is freakishly expensive, you guys. And if you live in New York, you have to do Broadway. You have to go, you have to see it. But there are a lot of ways that you can get a Broadway at a discounted price or even for free. Again, if you're a college student, they probably offer you a lot of those things. Another website will be Today Tix, which they give you like half off on tickets. You don't have to pay 100 and something for a ticket. You can pay $60, $50 if it's still too much. There is the TKTS, which I never tried, but I always see a line in Times Square to like go and get like it's basically last minute tickets that you get for like $20 for like really, really cheap. Or if you really want to be adventurous and you know what time like a show starts and you really want to see Harry Potter and you're like, oh my God, I have to see Harry Potter, go to the Harry Potter box office when the show starts and see if they have a free seat for you. They rather you to have this seat than to have an empty space, right? So if somebody didn't show up, canceled, there's an empty seat that wasn't sold out, it's going to be really cheap. So check these options. Like if you really want to do that, if you like have the time to stand in line or to like, kind of like lure into the box office space, like just, you can check, like it's there. Oh my God, you don't have to pay $100. I never paid $100 for a Broadway show. Never. I have like a website that I use that I can get like a $20 ticket. But I think it's only for like theater majors or something like that. So I'm not sure about that. And I can't recommend it because it's like, kind of like exclusive, I think. But oh my God, I think that's it. You guys, oh my God, just on time, 9:35. Yeah. Awesome. My class starts at 10:30 and I think it's like a half an hour, 40-minute ride. So I should be fine. But yeah, wow, that was a fun episode, you guys. I went over the entire list. I would like to hear from you in the comment section below which advice like shocked you or something that you were like, what? Because you didn't know about it. Like which part was like shocking for you? Because to me, like even me like preparing this list, like some of the things, obviously like I prepared it, so I kind of like knew. But when I put the list into ChatGPT gave me like an extended version of like the actual names, the actual things. Some of these things like I didn't know. Like I'm not using rewards, which I should definitely be using. But some of those things, like I don't remember which one it was. Didn't I just said something that I was like, what? What was it? Jeez, I completely forgot. I'm like, I don't remember. Fuck. But I remember like reading something here that I was like, wait, what? I need to check this out. Oh fuck, I forgot. Anyway, doesn't matter. So oh my God, an hour. That's nice. So you guys, subscribe and like if you enjoyed the content on this channel. I don't only do the podcast, I'm also rapper, singer, poet, so I do that. So I'm gonna have a lot of content coming up. I'm gonna be working on I'm trying to think about like the content that I want to put out. I don't like calling it content, but like I'm trying to see how I can be more on point with my music releases, because I am working on a new album. But while I'm working on a new album, I do want to keep releasing stuff on YouTube. So I'm thinking like maybe poetry readings or like freestyles, but I need something that I can do consistently. So I'm still thinking about it, because I'm very, very, very busy between podcasts and school and my photography gigs, and like there's a lot going on. So I'm trying to find like a more consistent way to like release stuff on YouTube beyond the podcast that is more like music. So if you have any suggestions, I would love to hear them. But I will be releasing more poetry and singing and rapping to my channel. So if you subscribe, you're not only gonna get the podcast and all these amazing tips that I give you, but also like artistry and all that. And if you have any questions, any suggestions for the episode in 2 weeks, please let me know. I always love getting suggestions from you. And I'm gonna finish with that because it was an amazing episode and I'm just talking right now. So yeah, go buy my book, subscribe to my channel, and enjoy your freaking weekend. Bye-bye.